So is it just me, or do any other believers watch a movie and look for God in the movie? The reason why I'm asking is because one of my favorite movies to watch, which is actually supposed to be a horror movie, but I see so much of God in it, is Bird Box. I don't know if y'all remember, but it's basically a movie where these people, when you see, like, there's something that they see that turns them into somebody who's either evil or makes you want to unalive yourself, unfortunately. And so they go through this movie having to wear blindfolds, and the only thing they can do is listen for what to do and where to go. Like, they literally have to get all their clues of where to walk, where to drink, where to eat, everything with a blindfold on. And I related it back to walking by faith and not by sight. That's what God calls us to do. God tells us that we're not always going to understand what's going on. We're not always going to know what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're not always going to be able to see with our physical eyes, with our natural senses, exactly what He's working on and what He's trying to do in us. But just keep walking, keep going, keep moving towards the goal that He has set in your heart. She didn't know where she was going with them kids. I mean, they literally had gotten a radio like, hey, you can come here. And they gave her just the most vague instructions ever on how to get there. Like, yeah, take this river. When you hit here, you'll be close. Just listen for some birds. And even when that's what she did, and they finally made it through the toughest part of the river, the rapids, and they finally made it to when he told them to listen out for the birds, there was the enemy chatting away, coming to her in familiar voices and trying to mislead her, misguide her from getting to the point that where her safety was, to getting to the promise. That's how the enemy is towards us. When we get super close to the promise that God has given us, he gets louder and stronger, and he wants to attack more, and he's on your heels. But you have to remember the promise that God put in you in the beginning. What did he say to you from the start? And focus your hearing on that. Tune your ear in to hear God's voice in anything. I always tell God, thank you that you are an intercom in my head, coming through the loudest and the clearest, no matter where I am or who's around. And that's the key to walking by faith and not by sight. Hearing his voice and obeying.